Hi, welcome to 50 Plus Home and Gardening. Today is Saturday, so I had to weigh myself. Once a week I try to do that. 18 pounds! Woo-hoo, yeah! But we're gonna get outside and do something hopefully creative. I got some Christmas presents from Jeff, and so we're gonna go and see what they were. Look at this. Is this so exciting? So one of the presents that Jeff gave me, I saw a bunch of discount bulbs, and guess what? I got them for Christmas. I think they were 70% off, and I thought, no, let's not do that now. And we have a bunch of other things that we want to get done. And he bought them and brought them home, and look at these. I got 8 tulips. I think they were 75% off, so it was a great deal. So I'm going to figure out where to put them. These are what the bulbs look like. Let's see what you do. You only have to go down 5 inches from the top of the bulb, so that won't be very deep. And it's zone 2 through 8. Good. Right in the middle of my range. This one is dig down 3 inches below the top. And that's not going to be very deep. These are miniatures. They're called, oh, I can't say that, tubergens gem. I don't know. Deer resistant though. Isn't that cool? Okay, I've seen these in Williamsburg, and they are miniature. Very tiny. And look at the bulbs. See how small they are? Tiny compared to these. These are kind of like more standard tulip sizes. Actually, these are smaller than normal, but these are so small. So cute. And then you have Dutch Master. Okay, you get 20 in each, and he gave me 2 packages, so I have 40 to deal with. This is a standard, let me see, 6 bulbs per square, okay, bulbs 6 inches below the soil for these. Okay, this is Dutch Master. This is a pretty common one. So I'm going to find out where I can put them. I can't wait till spring now to see them in bloom. Ah, the Williamsburg garden. I think since this is empty, I don't have anything in this area, and I just cleaned it out and took out a bunch of pots and other things. I already have filled this up with strawberries, roses, and I think there's some veronica in there, and some sedum. And I know it's like, what is this? It's nothing. It's okay. Okay, I have the shells. See the steps that are in the shape of a shell? I've got that. And look, that's the completed stone part, the pink stones that are done. And then right over here, I'm going to take those sticks out. I just had them up for Christmas lights and things. So this is a side note, but this wall at Mount Vernon is called a ha-ha wall, and it's French for a sunken fence, a blind fence. And so even though I can see it from my side, if I go up the hill, so I'm up at the cistern, and you can see that you can't tell that there are any steps. And what it is, a blind fence, it would be going down a very steep hill. And in Mount Vernon, he lives on a very steep hill, and he didn't want to obscure his landscape with fencing. So he put in, it's a French word, they call it sauteloup. Sauteloup, I don't know, I'm not French. Anyways, it's called a ha-ha wall, which I think is just hilarious. So if you have terrain that goes up a hill, so I'm going down low, but this is a ha-ha wall. This side of the fence or their hidden wall, you would keep deer from going up to your house. Say where that shed is, that's your home, and you don't want the animals, deer and things like that. I don't know, apparently they won't jump the fence, or maybe it's an illusion that they don't want to go up. Maybe they just hold back cows and things like that. But he did have a deer wild deer pen, and all he did is had these ha-ha walls and they stayed in their place. So it may be something that it's an illusion for them and they won't jump it. But what I wanted to say is this garden part is sort of like a raised bed. So if any of you have garden spaces where you're going to pick fruit or vegetables, I would suggest well, in my case, I can do ha-ha walls because I have a lot of hill. But if you just live on flat land, the best thing to do is a raised bed that would be a height that you're not bending too much. Even this one may be a little low, so I'm going to come up to it. I'm coming up to it, and it goes to close to my knee. So, but if I was going to pick something, it's not very far. I'm not bending hardly at all. Very short. So if you're taller than that, if you're a man like my husband, this wouldn't work. He would need a huge ha-ha wall. Let's just double this, knee high, and then add another knee high. 2 knee highs. So I'm standing right here at the door, and I'm going to plant all the bulbs right here. So let's get started. All right, aren't these pretty? So I'm going to get my mise en place together, principle 8. I've got my bucket, and it's full of all the tools that I may need. Okay, the plan is this is going to go towards the front. These are the shortest ones. So if I look and see how tall they get, height 4 to 6 inches. Exciting. Okay, not very tall. So this is going to go in the front. 16 to 18. And these Dutch Masters go, okay, this one's 16 inches. So these are going to be slightly taller, but I don't know. For some reason I want it to go gradually. Do you see how this is orange, yellow, orange, and then yellow? So what I think I'm going to do, I'm not even sure if these tulips will do well here. There's only 8 in here, which is good because the deer and the voles I've never had good luck with tulips. So I'm going to leave those, I think, in the center in case they don't bloom. So the first batch, which is the miniature tulips, and they are deer resistant, they're going to go in the very front, and I have 3 groups of 5. We only got 15. So I have 3 holes. Once you get them in your holes, I normally put a rock or a stick. So let's get these in. Okay, I have the first row in, and now I want to have it tiered. So I don't want another set right above it. So it's going to go small tulip in these 3 to the next row, which is going to be right here, and they are going to have the larger tulips. So it'll be 2 sets of 4. So I only have 8, so I want to show you how this works. So you can already see a new bulb is coming out. It's sort of, I always think these look like, you know, the chocolate kisses, only this is a vanilla kiss. They sometimes don't have roots, but you can kind of see like a little, I don't know, there's no roots on this. It's hard to see this one, but it kind of goes into a, sort of a pear shape, I guess. There's a little bit of root, but that's the bottom. And the tip is the top. That's, you can see that's where it's going to come out, right there. All right, so I'm going to put the second row in, and let's see how it looks. All right, so I have the 3 groups of 5 in the front, the 2 groups of 4, and then down here the 3 groups of 3. And these are the daffodils, and they are easy to know which side to put in. They have a lot of roots on the bottom, and on the top, that's where they come out, so that'll be on the top. One of them is squishy, just slightly, but I'm going to put it in anyways. I'm going to chance it and see if we can get 3 in that one. All right, here's an example of some squished bulbs that I would not put in. See how I can squish them all the way in? They should be firm and hard. This is like pudding. I can squish it down to, look, I just took it apart. Right up here it tells you the bloom time, so this says mid-spring. That doesn't mean they'll all come together. This one says mid-spring. This one says late spring. So this one may be by itself in the late, along with all the other tulips, if it comes at all. I won't be surprised. I've never had tulip good luck. All right, I think we have them all in. There's the tulips, and the daffodils are in. So now you want to make sure that the dirt gets in very tight, and then throw mulch on top of that. If you have a fertilizer that you normally use to put bulbs in, you know, you can do that at this point. But I'm going to put the dirt in, and let's see how this area looks. It's going to be pretty plain, so I wouldn't be too impressed. Okay. We've finished that. That looks really nice. Okay, this is the Williamsburg garden, and these are the first plantings for the beds. And as you can see, the Dutch master, I only had, okay, since this is a symmetrical design, you have to have at least 4 beds exactly the same. That's how the Williamsburg people, if you want to stick to that kind of a design, instead of working in 3s, you have 4 different plots. And each plot has to be pretty much precise. I put the bulbs where I thought they may look good, right behind the stone. So I have a stone for my grandchildren and my daughter and her husband. And ooh, you know what? There's a new grandbaby that I don't have out here. And so I will put I'll make one up for him, and I'll put one in here. And then the bulbs that I only have 6 per bed. I'll make everything just above the stones on that bed. See how I need to correct that just a little bit? It's just a little bit off. So I'll move the stone over like that. And so everything will match up, at least as far as that. So let's get them in. Okay, for these holes up in my Williamsburg, here's the 6. And there's the stone, and this is one of the triangle beds, and there's all the dirt. And then I will stomp it down and put the mulch back on. The mulch is just piled on the side. Here's the only mise en place I needed. I went for the big guns, big shovel instead of the small little shovel. The small shovel is only good for 1 or 2 bulbs. This rake helped get in the details of these lines, and the big shovel was because I had one big hole for 6. Well, that was just going to take too long with a small one. Plus, I'd be bending over a lot. Now you could use the stool to do that if you wanted to, and your ground was really soft, but this is hard clay, so this is a stand-up job, and I just put the dirt on the tarp, and now I can just shovel it back in, and it'll be really clean. When I'm done filling in with the clay, the natural soil, I put a layer of compost on top. So the Williamsburg garden got all the bulbs in, raked up all the mulch on the outside of the string line. And so right behind each stone will be 6 bulbs if they all grow. I have pretty good luck. We'll see. This is my first time for bulbs in this house, so all the soil is different and the conditions are different. More rain, more freezing. This is 7A, which is slightly colder than where I came from, 7B, but it should be good. Isn't that going to be pretty? Okay, we got all the bulbs in. Williamsburg bulbs are set in, and I think I'm done for the year for bulbs. I can't wait till spring. I can't wait till you see them with me. If you want to get outside and rake, you can do things that are on top of the soil. But you can do some raking, some clipping, trimming, and get the mulch on before spring, because the weeds will be less. Keep moving, keep gardening, and stay creative, and I'll see you next time.